أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome everybody to another one of your G2 classes. I hope you're all doing well today, and jazakumullah to everybody for arriving to the class today on time. As always, we are going to start off our class with an opening prayer, and for that we'll request the student to come to the mic. Could I please request our co-host to call a student to the mic? Assalamu alaikum, co-host.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can student G2 676 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2676, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, if you could please start off with Ta'awudh and Tasmiyah, and I'll ask you to recite the following prayer here for me. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا.
Good. Well done. MashaAllah, mashallah. Very, very nicely recited. If you were to pause over here at the end, you'll say ilman nafi'a, and you just stretch the sound out of the ayn at the end. But you beautifully recited that. Could you also read out the English translation for us, please?
Okay. Oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge.
Perfect. And that's for Ibn Majah, hadith number 925. Perfect. Student G2676, that was really, really nicely recited. And jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Jazakumullah. Okay. Just before we proceed on with our class, could I remind everybody to submit in your attendance for today, and for that our co-host has kindly dropped a link in the chat facility, and if you press on that link it will take you to a Google form for you to type in your student ID and submit it in. So this way we will know who has attended the class and it will mark your attendance. Okay, so if you could all do that for me now, that would be absolutely amazing. And if you can't do it now, then try and make sure you do it before the class ends, okay, because the link is only going to be present for that amount of time. Now, let's take a look at the class etiquettes before we proceed on with anything. Make sure you have joined the class having done your ablution or your wudu. Make sure you're wearing clean clothes and that your head is also covered. Also, make sure that you are sitting in a quiet place with parental supervision, because the more noise there is in the background, the harder it is for us to hear you. And it also does divert your attention quite a bit. So make sure you're sitting in a quiet place, paying full attention to class and everything that's been said in class. And also make sure that you have signed in with the correct IDs as well, as only correct IDs are able to be called to the mic. So you can use this time right now to go into the participant list to find yourself, and you can also see if you've signed in with the correct ID or not, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the schedule for today. So today we are going to be focusing on Waqf rule number 8, okay? And I am aware you've been going through some rules of Waqf, and today we're going to be proceeding on with that. And we shall also take a look at some examples where the rule of the Waqf rule is present, especially the one that we are going to be learning about today. And as always, we will then practice a bit using Surah Al-Baqarah, okay? Not Surah Al-Baqarah, sorry, chapter number 26, verses 157 to 180. And we will call some students to the mic and get to do as much practice as possible, okay? So let's start off with our rule of the day. So before we even get on to the rule, we need to remind ourselves of what waqf means, okay? The word waqf is an Arabic word, and it means to pause, to take a break, okay? Now, a lot of the times when you're reciting the Holy Quran, you will see that at the end of every verse, you will pause, take a breath, and you'll move on to the next verse. which is fine because that's where you can do waqf at the end of each verse. But remember, sometimes verses are very, very long, and reading that whole verse in one go is sometimes almost impossible, okay? You will eventually run out of breath and you will need to take a break. So, in other words, you will have to do waqf. And there are many, many different rules to consider when it comes to waqf. And some of them I think you've covered already. And today we are going to be looking at another instance where if you were to run out of breath, or where if you were reaching the end of a verse, how you would pause and how to apply that rule. Okay? So first of all, let's take a look at the rule we're looking at today. And in particular, we're looking at ta al-marbuta. Okay? Let me highlight this for you. Ta al-marbuta. Now, ta al-marbuta is this letter here. It's the letter ha with the 2 dots. So normally we say ta, hence why it's ta al-marbuta. Okay? So ha with the 2 dots. Now, if you were reciting this word, right, you're going to recite it fully. Say you weren't pausing, right? You would say musfiratun, musfiratun. But now let's imagine that you were meant to pause. What will happen to this letter that you're pausing on? Will there be a change? Will it remain the same? What will you do? So, whenever you come across this ta al-marbuta and you're pausing on this letter, it will change into a ha sakina. Okay? Ha sakin. So you will get rid of the 2 dots and you will replace that with a jazm or a sukoon. So it will become into a ha sakin, as you can see over here. So where the sound was made ta over here, it's going to be like a ha sound over here. So the ta al-marbuta will change into a ha sakin. Ha sakina. So how would we recite it then? This is how we're going to recite it. Musfirah, musfirah. So we went from musfiratun to musfirah. So just pausing over here, okay? You have a ha sakin. Now we are imagining it. It won't be written like that when you're actually reciting the Holy Quran, but it's just a way for you to remember that this, you will not say musfirat. That would be incorrect. It will change into ha sakin. So you're going to say musfirah, a ha sound at the end. So this is the rule that we were supposed to be taking a look at for today. Now, there is a PDF file for us that allows us to further look at this rule. And I will be taking you through the first example, and we'll call a couple of students to the mic for the next couple of examples. So if I was reciting this verse, for example, and let me get a highlighter out. Say I was reciting this verse, but I was to run out of breath around here. What are we going to do? Okay, so if you follow along, I'm going to recite this verse for you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن شأن ننزل عليهم من السماء آية. Now, I was running out of breath, and this is where I wanted to pause. Rather than saying ayat or ayatan, as it states over here, I said ayah. Okay, ayah. And that's the sound we are making. And then you can proceed on. All right. So we changed this ta marbuta into a ha sakina. It's very important. This is something you need to remember, because anyone that I will call to the mic now, I will ask, what will the ta marbuta change into? And I'll answer it for you now. It will change into a ha sakin, okay? So let's take a look at the next example. Here's a little miniature ta. We can be pausing over here. What are we going to do? So let's call a student to the mic. Co-host, could you please kindly call someone to the mic for us?
Can student G2 658 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2 658. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, did you understand the rules so far?
A bit.
A bit. Okay, let's see if you can apply it. Could you please recite this verse for me, but make sure you pause over here, okay? And show me how you will pause as well, okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن في ذلك لآية.
Good, well done. Mashallah, mashallah. Very, very nicely you applied the rule. Just remember, it's la yeah. Can you try saying that for me?
لآية.
Good, well done. Now, is the letter you paused at? Do you know what this letter is called?
تاء مربوطة.
Good, well done. That was very nicely said, by the way. And when you are pausing on the ta al-marbuta, the ta al-marbuta will change into
Aha.
aha sakin. Good, well done. Aha with a sukoon. Obviously, you don't see that, but you imagine it. That's the way we remember it. Right, well done. That was really nicely recited. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic, student G2658. That was really nicely recited. Jazakumullah.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, co-host, could we have another student to the mic, please?
Can student G2 607 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2607, Assalamu alaikum. Student G2607, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, no worries.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, have you understood the rules so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good, amazing. So, could you recite this verse for me, but act like you are meant to pause over here? How would you pause? Okay?
The
So,
one.
all right, so let's do this. Let's start off with Ta'awudh and Tasmiyah, and you can just recite this verse, but I would like you to pause over here.
Okay.
Yeah?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وتلك ما
Good, well done. Very, very nicely paused over here. And that was really, really nicely recited. And your ayn sound was spot on as well. So well done for that. Now, do you know what this letter is called?
is it ta?
Yeah, it's called a ta al-marbuta. Okay, that is the name, ta al-marbuta. You give like a normal ta sound, like you would with a normal letter ta. But as you would have noticed that on this special occasion, for example, if it's a ta al-marbuta, it's a special case. When you pause, it will change into, what will it change into? So, so you said ni'mah. What did the ta change into?
Aha.
Aha. Yes, well done. So it changed into a ha sakin. So a ha with the sukoon on top. But you can't see the ha sakin, but it's just what what it turns into. All right. So every single time you pause on a ta al marbuta, what sound do you make? Student G2607.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry about
Walaikum
that.
salam. No worries at all. So what sound will you make when you pause on this letter?
You make a stop sound.
Like ha.
Good. You will make a ha sound. Exactly what I wanted to hear. Amazing. That was really, really nicely recited, and I can see you've understood the rules so far. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic, student G2607. Take care of yourself, and Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay. So here we've just taken a look at a couple of examples where this rule is present. And I'm just going to do one last one, but I will talk you all through it quickly. So if I was reciting this verse, I will say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فجميع السحرة. Now, if I wasn't pausing, I would say, فَجُمِعَ السَّحَرَةُ لِمِي. But remember, because we are pausing on this letter, for example, it's just an example, you don't have to pause here, but if you were to pause, this ta al-marbuta, that's what it's called, ta al-marbuta, will change into a ha sakin, okay? So it's very important to remember that, everybody, and that was the rule for today, okay? So now we will move on to our recitation. So I believe you've been reciting a lot of these verses that we're going to be going through today during the course of this week. And today we're just going to be revising them quickly. Okay. So let's call our first student to the mic. Co-host, could we call a student to the mic?
And student G2746, come to the mic, please.
Jazakumullah. Student G2746. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jazakallah. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, would you please like to start off with Ta'awudh and Tasmiyah? And if I could request you to start reciting off for me from here, please. Yeah?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تمسوها بسوء فيأخذكم عذاب يوم آتي.
Good. Well done, mashallah, mashallah. I'm going to stop you right here. So that was very, very nicely recited, student G2746. That was a beautiful recitation. And you also tried your best to pronounce each and every letter with utmost care. So I appreciate that. So Jazakumullah. Let's now take a look at a couple of things together. All right. So first things first, if a letter carries a fatha on top, how long should you prolong it for?
1 second.
1 second. Good. Well done. 1 second or 1 count. So over here, this letter dhal, I think you accidentally stretched the sound out. Remember, it's a very, very short amount of time to give. Just 1 second or 1 count. Okay. So if you could recite this part again, this word, and make sure that you give the right timing on the dhal.
فيأخذكم.
Good. Well done, mashallah. That was really, really nicely recited. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is that there are a couple of throat letters. And by that we mean there's some letters that are letters of the tongue. So al-lisan, all right, if you remember. And some are letters of the throat, al-halq, okay? So those are the letters of the throat. And some of the letters of the throat include ha, qa, alif, hamza, and ayn is also one of the throat letters, okay? But do you know where the sound of ayn comes from in the throat? Is it the top, middle, or bottom?
Middle.
Good, well done. Very, very nicely remembered. So when you're giving the sound of ayn, just remember to give the sound from the middle of the throat. So can you try recite this last part here for me, please?
يوم Zeem.
Good. Well done. MashaAllah. That was very nicely recited. If you could repeat after me once more. Yawmin azim.
Yawmin Azim.
Much better, much better. Well done. It's just the sound of ayn that we want to work on for a bit now, okay? So I would recommend that you practice the sound of ayn, okay? Make sure the sound is coming from the middle of the throat. And I will also recommend that you just practice your fatha dhamma kasra and make sure you don't stretch the sound out. Just give it a 1 second timing, okay? So focus on your timing a bit as well. But
Okay.
that was really, really nicely recited, mashallah, student G2 746. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Take care and Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, co-host, may we have another student to the mic, please?
Can student G2 635 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2 635. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Wa alaikum salam. So okay, just gonna have to mute you for now, student G2 635. There is a lot of echo. Could we please make sure that you haven't got any other devices joined to the same Zoom meeting around, okay? Because if you've got two mobile phones with the same Zoom meeting on, you're gonna get a lot of that echoing and I won't be able to hear you. So what I'm gonna do is I've muted you for now. If you could get that sorted out, that's amazing. I'll call you next after our next student, okay? But I've written your ID down. So that's student G2 635. Okay. Co-host, may we please have another student?
Can student G2 638 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2 638. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, could you please start off with the Awwad and Tasmiyah? And if I could request you to start reciting from here for me, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فتكلم ذو حفاءة بهم نادمين.
Well done. Mashallah, mashallah. I'm going to stop you right here. That was really nicely recited, student G2 638. I can see you have tried your best to pronounce each and every letter properly. And I can see that through your recitation today. So mashallah, that was really, really nicely recited. Now let's take a look at a couple of things together, okay? Do you know what letter this is over here?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so this is a letter Ain. What letter is it?
I'm
Good. And do you know if Ain is a letter of throat?
yes.
Good, amazing. So Ain is a letter of throat and the sound comes from the middle of the throat. So can you try saying فَعَقَرُوهَا?
فَعَقَرُوهَا.
Good, well done, mashallah. Really, really nicely recited. And this is a ra. You will give a za sound if the ra had a little dot on top, but it doesn't have a dot, so it's a ra. Okay?
Okay.
Amazing. And what letter is this over here? Okay, so it's a sword. What letter is it?
A sword.
Good. So you need to give a saw sound over here. So you're going to say فَأَصْبَهُ.
فَأَصْبَحُوا.
Good. And this letter ha is also one of the throat letters. So remember the sound of ha also comes from the middle of the throat. Now, just before I let you go, could you please remind me what this letter noon is carrying on top? This little sign, do you know what it's called?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no worries. So it is called a vertical fatha. What is it called?
A vertical fatha.
Good, amazing. And the word vertical means upright, straight. You know, that's what the word vertical means. So it basically says it's an upright fatha, okay? And whenever this vertical fatha appears on top of a letter, you need to stretch the sound out for 2 seconds or 2 counts, okay? How long do you do that for?
2 counts.
Good, 2 counts or 2 seconds. So if you could repeat after me. Nadimin.
Nadimin.
Good, well done. So you beautifully stretched out the sound of the noon over here for 2 seconds or 2 counts. All right, mashallah, student G2 638. That was really, really nicely recited, mashallah. And I just want you to practice a bit more. Try and familiarize yourself with the names of the different letters so that when we're talking about them, it's easier to understand. Okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz for now.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Amazing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and call student G2635 for a second and see if everything's sorted. Assalamu alaikum, student G2635.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Oh, that's much better. How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, that's very, very good to know. Sorry about what happened earlier on. I couldn't hear you properly, and even my own voice was echoing, so I couldn't have helped you out. But Alhamdulillah, everything seems to be fine for now. So do you want to start off with Darawud and Tasmiyah? And if you could please start reciting from here for me, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فأخذهم هم العذاب إن في ذلك لآية وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين.
Well done, mashallah, mashallah. I'm going to stop you right here. What a beautiful recitation. That was really, really nicely recited. And can I just say, the sound of ayn that you're making is spot on again. So good sound of ayn that you made over here. Well done for that. There are just a couple of things I would like to point out. So first of all, if a letter carries a fatha, dhamma, or kasra, how long should you prolong it for?
1 count.
Good. 1 count or 1 second. So it's a very, very short amount of time. So remember, this alif is carrying a short stroke. Do you know what this is called?
Short stroke.
And it's called a fatha, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. So we give it a 1 second timing only. So you're going to say فَأَخَذَ.
فأخذ.
Good. Well done. So 1 second timing to be given on each of those letters as they only carry a fatha on top. Now, you beautifully paused over here at the end, by the way. You understood the rule that was taught today and you were able to apply it well, which is really good. Do you know what this letter is called?
Ta al-malbuta.
Good, well done. I know it's a long name, but you said it really nicely. And it's a ta al-marbuta, and when you are pausing on a ta al-marbuta, what is this letter going to change into?
Ha sakin.
Good, well done, mashallah. So this ta al-marbuta will change into a ha sakin if you are pausing on this letter, okay? But just remember, rather than saying la ya, you're going to join the ya and the ha sakin together. So it's going to be la ya. Can you try saying that for me?
La ayah.
Good. A very quick joining to be done there, and also right sound to be made here at the end as well. So that was really, really nicely recited. And just one last thing I wanted to point out. Now this vowel is carrying this hamza. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Amazing. So are you going to say the sound of the vowel or the hamza sound?
Hamza sound.
Good. And you did do that actually. You did give the sound of hamza, which is good. But remember to apply the rule of quiescent hamza over here. The rule of quiescent hamza is if you see an alif sakin, so if you see an alif with a sukoon, or you see a hamza with a sukoon on top, you need to give it a soft jerking sound. What sound are you giving it?
Soft jerking sound.
Good, amazing. So here you've come across a hamza sakin. What kind of a sound are you going to give here? Do you give it a soft jerking sound or do you not give it a soft jerking sound?
Mm. You give it soft jerking sound.
Good, amazing. Yes, you do, 100%. Whenever there's an alif sakin or hamza sakin, you give a soft jerking sound, okay? So if you could repeat after me. Mu'minin.
Mu'minin.
Perfect, well done. And let's give a soft jerking sound here. Let's try that one more time. Mu'minin.
Mu'minin.
Much better, much better. That was really, really nicely recited, student G2635. Beautiful recitation. If there's anything I would want you to go over, I would say try to practice the rule of quiescent hamza. So hamza sakin and alif sakin and how to give a soft jerking sound. And also just try to go over or practice fatha dhamma kasra and make sure you're giving the right timing on those letters that carry those short strokes. Okay?
Okay.
Amazing. Well, Jazakumullah for coming to the mic, student G2635. Take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Amazing. All right, co-host, could we please have another student to the mic, please?
Can student G2646 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2646. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, have you been understanding the rule for today?
Yes.
Good, amazing. Let's see if we can find some of those examples in the recitation today. Do you want to start off with ta'awudh and tasmiyah? And if you can start reciting from here for me, please.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa inna rabbaka lahuwal azizur rahim. Kazzabat qawmu Lutinil mursalin.
Okay, well done, mashallah. I'm going to pause you right here. That was a really, really good recitation, mashallah. I couldn't really pick out much from it, to be fair. That was very, very nice recited. And I have to say your pronunciation is very good. You are able to give the right pronunciation for all the letters. So be very, very happy with your recitation today. Now, I've just got a couple of questions before I let you go for today. First of all, if a letter carries a shadda, can you see the shadda here?
Yes.
Perfect. What should you do if a letter carries a shadda?
We join it to the previous mutaharrik letter.
Yeah, well done. You join it to the previous most mutaharrik letter, but also make sure to put pressure on it. Okay? So, wa inna rabbaka. Can you try saying that for me?
Wa inna rabbaka.
Good, well done. You didn't make a mistake there. I'm just trying to remind you of different rules because I didn't have anything to pick out. But yeah, you did recite that well before as well, and you recited it well now as well. And just last question before I let you go. The rule that we covered today was pausing on ta marbuta, ta al-marbuta. So if you were to pause on the ta al-marbuta, what will it change into?
It will change into ha sakin.
Good, well done. Very, very nicely answered. And I can see you've understood the rule as well, so we don't need to go through another example. But yeah, very, very good overall recitation, student G2 646. Keep practicing, and inshallah, you'll get there very soon. Okay? All right. Well, jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Take care of yourself.
Jazakumullah.
Allah
Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Amazing. Perfect. Co-host, could we kindly have another student to the mic?
Can student G2 653 come to the mic, please?
Jazakumullah. Student G2 653. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, have you been understanding the rule today?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, you didn't sound too sure there. I guess we'll find out. Do you want to start off with the ta'awudh and tasmiyah? And if you can start reciting from here for me, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الدقالة لهم أخوهم حملوا هن على تتقون.
Well done, mashallah, mashallah. And I'm going to stop you right here. That was really, really nicely recited, student G2653. That was a beautiful recitation. I think you tried your best to give the right pronunciation of each letter. Remember, there are so many letters in the Arabic alphabet, and it's so hard to keep track of what sound to make. So even if you do make a mistake, that's perfectly fine. Just remember to keep practicing, because that is the way you will improve. But let's just take a look at a couple of things together, okay? So
Okay.
you have over here an alif. Can you see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, can you tell me what the alif is carrying underneath?
I forgot.
Okay, no worries. So this alif carries a kasra. What does it carry?
A kasra.
Perfect. And how long should you prolong a letter if it carries a kasra?
1 second.
Good, well done. So try to join the alif. Make sure you don't say ath, say idh qala.
إذ قال.
Perfect. So this dal sakin was joining to this alif, but I think you accidentally gave it a fatha sound. You said ath. Remember, it's idh because it's a kasra, it's underneath. So you're going to give a sound from a downward sound. Idh qala. Okay? And just the last thing I wanted to point out, what letter is this?
Ein.
Okay, no worries. So an ayn looks like this. Okay? This is a ta. So lutun. Can you try saying that for me?
Yes. Lutan.
Perfect. Remember, it's a dhammatain, so it's 2 strokes of dhamma. It's tanveen, so give a round mouth. Lutun.
Lutan.
Good. Much better. Much better. Mashallah, that was really, really nicely recited, student G2653. Keep practicing. I will just say practice the the pronunciation of the letters. And that's something even I struggle with sometimes, when obviously there's so many different letters of the Arabic alphabet. And if you speak English mostly, it's also hard to get the right pronunciation because there's a lot to consider. But remember, don't let the language be a barrier. Okay, keep practicing, and I know you can definitely do well. So keep practicing, and inshallah you'll get there very soon. Okay,
Okay. Can
perfect.
my brother have a go?
Sorry, could who have a go?
My brother.
Your brother. What's your brother's ID?
G2654.
G2654. Okay, let's have him to the mic as well. All right. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum, student G2654.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So, could you please start off with the awwad and tasmiyah? And if you could start reciting from here for me, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إني لكم رسول أمين. فاتقوا الله وأطيعون.
Good. Well done, mashallah, mashallah. I'm going to stop you right here. That was really, really nicely recited, student G2654. Well done for taking your time, and well done for trying to give the right pronunciation on all of the letters. And I've been saying that to everyone today because I think it's so important to get the pronunciation right. It's very important to pronounce the letters correctly. So I can see you are all improving in that. So that's very, very good to see. Now, just a couple of things I would like to point out. What does this letter Ra carry on top? Do you know? A fatha, good. Remember, if it's a fatha, you give an upward sound. So you say Ra. Can you try saying that for me?
Ra.
Good. If you were to make a Ru sound, you would have a Dhamma, which is this sound, this stroke here. But it doesn't have a Dhamma, it has a fatha, so you give an upward sound, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. So the next thing I wanted to point out over here, you joined the lam to the qaf, which was the correct thing to do. You did that beautifully. Can you just tell me why you didn't join the lam to any of the alif or the vaw?
Because they didn't have a stroke on them.
Okay, good, well done. And are any of these letters in between mutaharrik letters?
No.
Good. No, the answer would be no. These are blank letters. A mutaharrik letter is a letter that carries a stroke. So it can carry a fatha, it can carry a vertical kasra, it can carry any sort of tanveen. That's when we talk about mutaharrik letters. But this over here, these letters in between carry nothing. They carry no stroke whatsoever. And so therefore they are not mutaharrik letters, and therefore you cannot join them to the lam mushaddad, okay? But well done, because they don't carry anything, we will ignore those letters. And just lastly, this letter ayn, okay, carries a dhamma, so we need to give a round mouth when we're saying it. But can you remind me if ayn is a throat letter?
Yes.
Yeah, well done. So ayn is a throat letter, definitely, and the sound comes from the middle of the throat, okay? Where does the sound come from?
The middle of the throat.
Absolutely, that's right. So make sure when you're reciting that you give the right sound of the ayn. So if you could repeat after me. وَأَطِيعُونَ.
وَأَطِيعُونَ.
Much better, mashallah. So that was really, really nicely recited, student G2654. Well done for a very, very nice recitation. I'll just recommend that you keep practicing, but make sure you spend a lot of time trying to give the right pronunciation of the letters as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, jazakumullah for coming to the mic, student G2654. Take care, and Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so I guess we're going to stop right here. I don't think we have any more time to call any more students to the mic. But this, before we move on to our next part, can everybody just make sure that you have submitted in the Google form? Okay, so you can find the Google form in the chat box. All right, if you go into that, our co-host has kindly posted a link. Make sure you press that link, type in your ID, and submit in the form so you can mark your attendance. Okay, and just before we move on to our next segment, I want to say everybody's reciting really, really well, mashallah. I think I've seen a lot of improvements from the very beginning, and that's very, very good to witness. But I do really want you all to practice, which is very important, but also try your best to listen to a lot of recitations. Okay? Could be on YouTube. I believe there is also a link that takes you, I think, to Al-Islam, and you can listen to the verse. So hear a Qari recite it, and then you can recite after them as well. So a lot of those things are present, but make sure you make good use of those kind of facilities that you've got. All right. So listen to a lot of recitations because that's a good way for you to familiarize yourself with the different sounds. And also, if it helps, watch these classes over and over again until you can understand the rules that you are slightly stuck on. Okay. And if you've got any further questions, you can always ask us. All right. So we have been going through some hard words, okay? And I just want to recap them for you today. Here we've got our first one. There's a lot to consider in this first hard word, okay? So if you could follow along with me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I'm going to recite it really slowly so you can understand what I'm doing here. معك. There's a lot of meme sounds here, but remember, ma mim. Okay, so it's quite a few meme sounds. This meme is joining to this meme is joining to this meme, and this meme is joining to this meme. Okay, so it's quite a bit of joining here. And make sure you're giving a good ghunna sound on these letters because it is a ghunna letter. It's a noon or meme mushaddad, and you give a nasal sound, a slight nasal sound for 2 seconds. Let's take a look at the next example. تستطيع عليه. Okay, so again a very hard one because there's 2 ayns, but you will join it to the ayn mushaddad. Remember, whenever there is a shadda or a sukoon, the shadda will always take priority. Okay, so make sure even there is a sukoon there, even though there is one there, you don't join it to the sakin letter, you join it to the mushaddad letter because the mushaddad letter will take priority. Let's take a look at the next example. أجيبت دعوتكما. أجيبت دعوتكما. Okay, so again, quite a bit to consider here. The ba will join to the dal because the dal is mushaddad letter. It will take priority over the sakin letter. And make sure to give the right sound of the ayn as well. And we shall go through one more. ميراث السماوات. ميراث السماوات. Remember the tha. This letter tha is a special case. A lot of people say tha. Remember, it's a tha. What you're doing to make the sound is you're getting the tip of your tongue and you're just lightly placing in between your top and bottom teeth. Tha. Okay? You're touching the bottom part of your top teeth, if that makes sense. And whenever you say this letter, a bit of air should escape your mouth as well. Tha. All right? So yeah, this was a quick recap of our hard words. They are definitely hard words to pronounce because there's quite a bit to consider, but with more practice, inshallah, you will get there. All right? So just before we conclude our class today, let's take a look at our homework. So today you went through a rule of waqf. Remember, waqf means to pause or to take a break. and we went through rule number 8, which was the rule of ta al-marbuta. Remember, when you're pausing on a ta al-marbuta, it will change into a ha sakin. Okay? And I think that's something that requires a lot of practice as well. Today, we went through a couple of verses of chapter number 26, verses 157 to 180. So if you could possibly, as part of your homework, practice the verses recited today as much as possible. But it's very, very important to apply all the rules that you have learned so far within your daily tilawat as well. Because it's important to learn something, but what's even more important than that is to be able to apply it. So make sure you're able to apply the rules without any difficulty. And to reach that level, I would like you to practice as much as possible. Okay? And also pay attention to what you do when you pause. For example, the ta al-marbuta change into a ha sakin. And there are other situations. What will a tanveen change into? What will a fatha change into if you are pausing? So those kind of rules we've been going through during this week, make sure you practice those as well. And also remember to keep practicing your hifz chapters within your salah as well. All right? So quite a bit was said there. Let's conclude our class today with a closing prayer. Could I please request our co-host to call a student to the mic? Assalamu alaikum, co-host.
Can student G2 721 come to the mic, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakumullah. Wa alaikum salam, student G2721. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So could you please start off with ta'awud and tasmiyah? And if you could please reciting from here for me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة.
Well done, mashallah, mashallah. That was really, really nicely recited. And could you also please read out the English translation for us?
O Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran the Great, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Perfect. Jazakumullah for that beautiful recitation, student G2721. And Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Amazing. So that was it for today, everybody. Jazakumullah to everyone who attended the class today. Make sure to do your homework and make sure to practice as much as possible, as practice makes perfect. Okay? So once again, Jazakumullah for attending the class, and we'll all see you tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.